Hey, what's going on YouTube? So today I'll be doing around $500 gaming PC build. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So first of all, let's open up our browser and kind of before I get started into this, before I even dive into this, I just want to let you guys know that all this um, parts are picked from different retailers, and I use PC Parts Picker to kind of help me out, getting all the different parts as well as different prices based on which retailer has a good price. So that being said, we are going to start with AMD FX 6300. It's a 6-core processor and it uses socket AM3 Plus. Now that is going to be our 6-core processor, and that's going to be the main thing as far as CPU goes that we're going to use, which being a 6-core, it's still going to give you a good performance for all the gaming need as far as all the new games and all this kind of stuff. You should be perfectly okay with that. It does have a turbo frequency of 4.1, so even if you don't overclock it, it can actually self overclock, or it can turbo clock to 4.1, but you'll be able to overclock a little bit because this is an unlocked system or processor. So that's going to be our main part, which would be a CPU. After that, we're going to take a look at a motherboard. So again, this uses AM3 Plus, so we're going to look at AM3 Plus motherboard. Now, the motherboard we're looking into is going to be the ASUS M5 A97LE revision 2.0. Again, this is an AM3 Plus motherboard, and you'll be able to fit our CPU in here properly without any issue. Motherboard is $69.99. It's really good motherboard for all the basic needs. You'll be able to overclock a little bit on it. It's not the best board for overclock, but it definitely gets the work done. And for 69 bucks, I figure this would be the best way to go. You have the old PS2 connections. You got USB 3.0, so two USB 3.0, and then you have 6 total USB 2.0 with gigabit Ethernet, and you got the audio jack right there. We'll be able to expand up to 32 gigs of memory, so that is great if you wanted to add more memory later on. So that being said, and it also supports Crossfire as well. So if you do wanted to add another graphics card later on, you'll be able to do that and run a Crossfire without any problem. So after that, we're gonna go into our memory. So the RAM that we chose is gonna be the G.Skill Sniper 8 gigs. So it's a 4x4, so you're gonna get two 4x, so you'll be able to use the dual channel. Again, this motherboard will support up to 32 gigs, so you can put 8 gigs in each slot. You have total of 4 slot. Now that being said, you're going to be populating two of these um, by using this memory. Memory is really fast, so you're looking at DDR3 2400 megahertz, which is really good, really fast. There's a latency which is 11, so it's a little bit more than what I would like, but again, the price is really good for the RAM, and it's made by G.Skill, so really good company as well. You also get a lifetime warranty with the memory itself as well, which is really nice. And the reviews, if you look at it, it's not here for some reason. Those are also really good as well. And that being said, let's dive into the storage. We have few options that we could go here. You could either get a hard drive like what I got here. So this is a Western Digital Blue Drive, a 1 terabyte storage. Now that's going to be able to put all your games and Windows on it without any issue. You got a terabyte of storage, so you'll be able to install plenty of games on it, as well as your pictures or music or whatever you wanted to add on it. You can also go with an SSD. Now, depending on your budget, SSD for similar price, you might be able to get for around 120 gigs or so for similar price. But again, that's only 120 gigs, and keep in mind that Windows is going to use, assuming that you're probably going to use Windows, it's probably going to use around 20 to 30 gigs of storage off of that. So you're technically going to have about 70 gigs or 80 gigs left on it. So if you start installing programs and games, you're going to end up filling that storage really quick. Um, so if you're short on money, I would say go and buy a hard drive right now, and then later on upgrade to an SSD, which might be a better way to go. So again, really plain and simple. You got 64 megs of cache, so which is really good, and 1 TB storage, and it's a blue drive, so really nice drive. The main thing now for any gaming build is going to be the graphics card, and for that I choose Sapphire DualX R9 280. Now 280 is actually a really good card if you wanted to kind of go into 1920 by 1080 full HD resolution game, anywhere from medium to high settings, and in some of the games, even in most of the games, you might be able to also get the highest level of graphics. And for the price, again, we're going all in about price to performance. It's 179 after mail-in rebate. Yes, I know it's a mail-in rebate, but again, the price is really good for 179, and it's made by Sapphire again, so you don't have the black PCB and all this kind of good stuff here. But it's a really good card, and it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be good for any 1080p medium to high settings on most of the games, and any new games you're gonna throw at it, it's gonna work perfectly fine. And next thing we're gonna take a look at it will be the house for our computer. And basically, this is one of the area where you guys can decide whatever you wanted to buy as far as the case goes. But I felt that Corsair Spectre 1 for 40 bucks is actually a really good case. You'll be able to put all the stuff, all the hardware in here without any issue. And you also get a side panel, so if you wanted to kind of show that off or something like that, you get the side panel. You got one fan on the front, and all the cables, internal cables, are actually black, which is really nice because some of the other power supply for a similar price range, you might get, all the rainbow colors, but this is a black color, so that's gonna look really nice as well. Last but not the least is gonna be the power supply. Of course, you need all the power to power on the system, right? So we're going to take a look at EVGA 600B bronze power supply. Now this is a bronze power supply, and you have 3 years warranty, made by EVGA. Again, really good power supply for 40 bucks. You can't really go wrong with this, and 600 volts is it's plenty for this build, being that of course you have 280X, and you might maximum hit around 350, I would say, to 400 volts, even if you overclock. So you still have a little bit headroom left, as if you wanted to kind of, because power supply you can use it on the next build if you would like, and if the parts that you're getting, it's not gonna hit the maximum limit of the power supply, you will still be able to use the power supply. And after a certain period of time, the power supply does happen to lose its, I guess, the voltage. So what I would say, it's a really nice power supply, and definitely recommend this power supply. 80 plus bronze and 3 years warranty, 600 volts. Again, for our build that we're building right now, it's perfectly fine for that. And as far as the system, now let's talk about operating system. You'll be able to, if you have Windows 7, Windows 8, something like that already, great. If you don't, then you probably have to buy it if you wanted to go in Windows route, but you also have choice of installing Linux on any in this system, as well as you have the SteamOS, which is also Linux based. So you can also do SteamOS as well. Linux side is pretty good. I mean, you have most of the programs that you would like to to use, which will work fine. Most of the games nowadays, with thanks to Steam, also works in Linux side of the things as well. So plenty of choice over there on Linux side. And if you do want it to kind of get in Windows, Windows 7, Windows 8, or something like that, you can go ahead and buy that. I didn't add that into the price range, so you'll be looking at almost 506. Well, not almost, but as of right now, $516.91 for total for this build without any system. So that's going to be one of the points. If you're looking at adding a system like Windows 7 or Windows 8, you'd be adding almost $100 more to get that. Meantime, you can also use Windows 10. So Windows 10 Developer Preview is out, and if you would like, you can actually install Windows 10, use Windows 10, save some money, and when Windows 10 actually launches, you can actually go and buy Windows 10 or something like that, and just upgrade from your trial Windows, kind of basically a trial Windows 10. And so far it's fairly stable, so I can kind of recommend going that route. Of course, it's a beta, so it's going to give you a little bit hard time here and there. Um, but yeah, give that a shot if you would like. Otherwise, like I said, go with Linux. But if you guys have any other questions, comments, anything like that, please feel free to comment down below on comment section. And thank you for watching.